Beach as we welcome you into the Nissan pregame drive. What a game tonight we have for you. We've got Sun Belt, and it is going to be the Fun Belt tonight. Appalachian State taking on Coastal Carolina in what is a pivotal game in the Sun Belt East. Why do I say that? Because Coastal sitting in control at top of the division. Then you've got Appalachian State hanging out there at 2-2 with a cluster of other teams. This game is always so important because the winner of this game has always gone on to play in the Sun Belt's championship game. And with that, welcome in Louis Riddick, back from London.
You know it. Well, the Thunder to the Lightning, and I'll tell you this right now, Coastal Carolina better buckle up because these guys are coming tonight.
Oh, and by the way, their head coach Sean Clark, he was an offensive lineman here. He's a three-time all-conference offensive lineman, so it is in their DNA to play hard up front. On the other side, you got Coastal Carolina. They're at home tonight in this one, and everything goes through their quarterback, Grayson McCall.
Look, Grayson is one of the best dual threats in college football, Matt. You'll see it tonight. You're going to see a version of the triple option and drop back passing game all wrapped up in one. It really causes defenses headaches. And I'll tell you this, they have a redshirt freshman wide receiver named Jared Brown, number 14, that is a do-it-all everything. You'll see him in Wildcat. You'll see him at tailback. You'll see him at halfback, in the slot, at the X, at the Z. They do everything they can to get the ball to number 14, and for good reason. I have a feeling Matt Barry will be making a few calls about number 14 tonight.
We expect offense. We expect rivalry-style football. What we didn't expect is an episode of Sons of Anarchy to break out before kickoff. But you know what? I say it all the time. Things get weird on Thursday night. We're about to have fun. Kickoff from Brooks Stadium is coming up next as we now take a look inside Nissan's Heisman House. Welcome back, ESPN College Football presented by Sonos, and we've got an all-out party breaking out here at Brooks Stadium. I had mentioned the rivalry in this game. Chase Bryce, quarterback, Appalachian State, Clemson, Duke, now the App State quarterback, and Harry Lyles, he's gotten every bit of a taste of this rivalry.
Matt, he sure has. I got to speak with him earlier this week, and he and I were discussing former Coastal Carolina linebacker Teddy Gallagher. Gallagher sent Bryce a DM in the February of 2021.
Bruce back from injury. Chanticleer's happy to have him back.
Absolutely. Look, I'll tell you, they're going to need their defensive line for Coastal Carolina tonight to play big. It cannot be a repeat of what they had a couple of weeks ago against Old Dominion. They need to make sure that right now that they are stout up front, no shoulders turns, playing gap sound, and not letting these running backs break loose and get to the second level.
So gain of 4, 2nd and 6 here for App State. Quick throw to the outside. That's Deshaun Davis. Davis, a big game a week ago. Nothing going there. Lance Boykin on the tackle.
That's what you expect to see from a corner the size of Lance Boykin at 6'3", 200 pounds. with Deshaun Davis. If you let him get going, Matt, he can be out the gate and he can produce a big play in a hurry. You're going to ...1980s, late 70s triple option football. You're going to get a little taste of that tonight because Grayson McCall can do that from the pistol and do it from the gun. He is very good on the perimeter as far as making decisions, when to pitch it, when to keep it, and then they throw it off of that, which just absolutely combines the best of both worlds. A little bit of traditional football, a little bit of RPO-type football that you see in today's game. You're going to get it all tonight.
The 1st and 10, ball spotted just shy of the 35-yard line. Big run on 1st down, and that's how you get it started. For the Chanticleers, that is Aaron Bedgood, good for 13.
You're going to see a lot of misdirection ball handling in the backfield. You see it right here. You see the quarterback just ride the running back and just try to read out whether or not he wants to pull it or he can just make people miss out in the open field. He is going to get an absolute ton of touches tonight, averaging just under 19 yards per reception, which is just ridiculous. I don't care what level of football you're talking about.
On the season, 34 receptions, 622 yards, 5 touchdowns, gain of 6 for him there in App State territory, 2nd and 4. McCall, the pitch, set up perfectly. Here goes Coastal. Big play, Coastal. Touchdown, Chanticleers. Jared Brown for 45.
What'd I tell you? Did I tell you that you get a little bit of the old and the new? There it is. There's the triple option out on the edge. There's Grayson McCall making the perfect pitch. He get the nice seal on the edge by the tight end. You see him, they're just optioning the end man on the line of scrimmage. And then it is just absolutely out the gate for Jared Brown. They are going to get him the football in every way imaginable, and you can see why right there. That's Coastal Carolina football. That's how you started off fast here at home on your home field.
They hopped out to a 21-0 lead a week ago against Marshall. Their fast starts opposite App State's slow starts. They knew it was going to be a problem.
That's his perfect execution. When you're talking about setting up a game in the open and you're talking about the kind of things that a team is going to try and do and they come out and do those exact things, I'll tell you what, for us up here, it's fun to see. And I'll tell you this, look, it's not like Sean Clark, the head coach of App State, didn't know that Jared Brown was going to be a feature part of this game because all of the games for Coastal Carolina this year had featured number 14. Well, tonight they came out and showed you. They came out and showed you. Jamie Chadwell said, hey, look, that's our big gun. Let's see what you got for it. So far, no answer.
App State again has a crease, shut down at the 20-yard line. Milan Tucker brought down on the play by Austin Randall. So second possession for App State. 3 and out on the first one, Lewis. Not much to speak of from the run game that we expect them to rely heavily on. Last year in this game, they rushed for 282 yards, which set the pace against the Chanticleer. Gain on that 1 for 1, led on the play by Shane Bruce.
I think what you're seeing here out of Coastal is they're saying, look, until you prove you can beat us through the air, we are going to trigger fast against this running game. We are not going to let you demoralize us by running the football between the tackles. We'll take our chances up over the top. And you see big man who just showed on the screen, Gerard Clark, is going to play a big part of that.
This is an offense that's had the Sun Belt's leading rusher each of the last 6 years. Talked about it is their DNA. That's Peoples again, and a gain of 6, bringing up a 3rd and medium.
One to 3, you can deal with that. Because now you have the ability as a quarterback also, if you don't like it and you're getting man coverage, everybody's back is turned to you, then a guy like Chase Bryce is more than athletic enough to go ahead and run for it if they decide to put the ball in the air here.
Officially 3rd and 2. That's Peoples all the way. That's defense all the way. What a great job by the defensive front of Coastal Carolina. Josiah Stewart, first man there. And it'll be 2 possessions and 2 punts for Appalachian State.
Josiah Stewart is a guy who had a tremendous freshman year last year. Double-digit sacks, broke the single-season sack record for Coastal Carolina. He's a guy who's going to have to play a big part in this football game, setting the edge against the run and then getting after Chase Bryce when they decide to put the ball in the air.
You couldn't have asked for a better start for the home team. Another favorable bounce. I don't do a good job flipping the field. It's going to roll inside the 25-yard line. And so 7-0 early on for Jamie Chadwell and his home team. 7-1 on the season. A perfect record in conference. 4-1 in conference, rather. Here was Coach Chadwell. Prior to the game, he was mic'd up.
You do know that the sun's not out, right? And you're wearing those aviators.
Willie told me I had to wear them.
Yeah, you're wearing those aviators?
Yes, sir. He told me to.
Top Gun 3 comes out. I think you'd be. I would write a personal letter to Tom Cruise to put you in there.
I'll take it.
No, won't go broke making a profit, right?
Out season in 2020, back-to-back 11-win seasons, and again 7-1 this year. He's got this thing where they are reliable Sun Belt power.
And considering where they have come from since he first took over this program and the trials and tribulations he went through to gain the respect of the players here as an interim coach, it's a remarkable story, folks. It's one of the best success stories in all of FBS. Makes you want to root for a guy like Jamie Chadwell for sure.
We'll get into his story throughout the night. That's C.J. Beasley off the right side. App State defense there. And a good job swarming the ball carrier. Loss of
with Bird, the way he's able to read the stance of the offensive lineman, read the backfield action, insert downhill quickly. just a nice, solid, fundamental football play.
So third down now, 3rd and 10 after the loss of 2. That's Brown in motion. McCall splits.
That's the matchup you want. I'm telling you, these coaches at Coastal know exactly how to use this guy. The only thing you have to be scared of, man, is don't overuse him. Don't wear him out. I mean, because you see him. I mean, he is running his. I mean, it's unbelievable how they use this young man, and for good reason.
So Tyler Page deep to receive the punt. Brought him back to his own 20, and that is quality special teams out of the Shants. Punt of 54, loss of 1. Matthew McDougall. Mary 32-28. They're going to go chase Bryce on first down. Quick pop over the middle. That's going to be a good gain. Good enough for a first down. Just over 10 yards. Will spot him for 11. And that was Eli Wilson. 87 on the reception.
Yeah, one of the cool things about App State, for as good as they are in the run game on the offensive line and as good as they are at blocking on the perimeter, these tight ends, they've got 4 of them that will play a pivotal role, and all of them have good guard. Damian Daly off the snap, and he just doesn't have any chance as far as being able to cut him off front side before he makes a TS.
Run, and Bryce is going to get the first down. Good recognition out of him to move the chains. JT Killen brings him down after a gain of 7.
See, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about Bryce's athletic ability, and he needed to use it right there because who had already collapsed the pocket again? Gerard Clark, who was just giving Daly, the left tackle from App State, all kinds of problems. And here he just takes an outside edge bull rush and just gets on Daly's edge. You just see the play action fake to Harris. and just moving the
Lou, is this game defined by big plays? A year ago, they used the big plays to set up the old reliable right up the gut for Dietrich Harrington.
Well, give offensive coordinator Kevin Barbay his credit. He said, hey, look, we're going to continue to run the football, but now we're going to move the pocket a little bit, get Chase out on the perimeter on the boot game. Then we're going to come back and run a little bit of a play action, and we're going to get Caden Robinson splitting the safeties in their two-deep look and hit a pop a big one right down the middle of the field, and then we're going to go back to the run game. That's great play calling. No panic. Tie up the score.
7 plays, 79 yards, and 325. We expected back and forth. Took the Mountaineers a little bit of time, but they're on the board. Dietrich Harrington ties the ball game up. 7 apiece. We got Sunbelt fun here on a Thursday.
ESPN Thursday Night College Football is presented by Sonos. Experience game-changing sound made easy. And in part by Charles Schwab. Own your tomorrow.
Up was the deep ball to Caden Robinson, wide receiver, the transfer from UCF. If you take a look on the screen, just look at the two safeties. Look how shallow they are at about 9 yards deep in a cover 4 look. Why is that? Because they're afraid of the run game. And so now what does Kevin Barbay, the offensive coordinator for Appalachian State, do? He says, look, we're going to run play action and we're going to get these two guys. We're going to split them with number 3 in a trip set, that being Caden Robinson, right in between them. Chase Bryce puts it right on him. That's great play calling, great recognition as far as how Coastal is playing their split safety looks. That's how you do it. That's how you answer and get right back in this ball game.
That's Reese White. That's how you start on first down. Ball at the 22. Dingo Prince on the tackle.
If you're Coastal Carolina, you continue to do what you've been
shoelace away from another touch. already in App State territories. McCall to throw, wide open, touchdown shots. Bryce Carpenter was in at quarterback. He's the runner of the two. He had App State's defense attention. And Xavier Gravett scores for Coastal.
Field with no one around him. This offense gives you fits as far as what your keys are, how to diagnose the plays, and then how to fit properly. And if you are off at all, they are going to burn you with the kind of speed and playmaking ability they have. And right now, Jamie Chadwell has to be going, hey, man, we've got him right where we want him.
Carpenter slides in there for McCall. Like I said, he's the runner.
Yeah, I mean, you see it here on the screen. The backfield action and the ball handling has the second-level defenders. They don't know where the ball's going because they've shown them so many different looks right now, and they've hit them with so many big plays on the perimeter. They're forgetting all about the pass game. They're just trying to figure out, hey, where's Jared Brown? Where's 14 coming from now? And Gravett's going, hey, guess what? I'll take that. I'll take that walk-in pass.
4 plays, 78 yards, 2 minutes, 8 seconds. We'll get into Carpenter's story later because he's got a trait with when he plays quarterback and a motto. That wasn't his motto there because we're not used to seeing him throw the ball. He's their tuck it and run guy, but he certainly showed the ability there, and a touchdown now 14-7. Here's this week's featured ESPN college football game. Bryce Young and number 6 Alabama squaring off against number 10 LSU in a huge SEC West matchup. Coverage begins Saturday night, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. ESPN, the ESPN app. The most wins since 2020 in college football. We show you this because third on this list is Coastal Carolina. Alabama leads the way with 33. Georgia's got 30. But how about the Chants? 1 game ahead of Clemson. Cincinnati also a group of 5 representative moving to the Big 12. And that just shows you how
Hodges.
be able to reset the pocket, keep his eyes downfield, and hit Wells for a big gain of 33.
Well, look, if you're in man coverage in that kind of situation where a quarterback is able to extend the play, you just stay with your guy. If you're in zone coverage, you have to plaster, and that's what that's when they're in here. They're playing a form of zone coverage. You have to plaster and find a guy, because if you don't, you turn people loose in the deep part of the field, and that's never a recipe for success.
And Lewis, they threw a flag way back at the. It's going to be an ineligible receiver, which is going to bring this thing all the way back. Wayne Winkler made the call. They touched the flag on the App State side, and that's going to nullify the big play.
Slow starts by head coach Sean Clark's team are the kind of thing that really just, it drives coaches crazy, because it just puts you in a deficit and then makes your margin for error that much slimmer as the game goes on. And it's something they've worked hard to try and correct at App State. But here they are again, and they find themselves in a hole, and they're not playing clean football, Matt. They're just not. And they're going to have to try and find a way to get back to their base fundamentals of what they do offensively so they can clean this kind of thing up.
and the penalties stalled that drive.
Every possession for App State tonight is going to be critical. You just get that feeling that they just cannot afford to shoot themselves in the foot. They cannot afford to have self-inflicted wounds against this Coastal offense that now is not running one, but two quarterbacks at you. And now the other quarterback has decided, guess what? I'm going to get in on the party throwing the football too.
Tyson. Quick strikes. Grayson McCall got in there. Bryce Carpenter got in there. You know, they started with Harleys on the field, and the engines were clearly revved. 21 first quarter points, 14 for the home team, 7 for the road. (14-7).
Kind of motion, send him one way, bring him back around the formation, and then triple option him. Then bring him in motion again. This time, don't triple option it, but just throw him what you would call a bubble screen, block it up well on the perimeter, and let him use his speed and space. I have a feeling we haven't heard the last of him tonight. I mean, this guy is as good as there is.
Oh, play fake. First down. Browns. It's a gain of 8. And Lewis, it's early. I mean, it's still the beginning of the second quarter. Some tempers flaring over there on the Appalachian State sideline. But if you're App State's defense, you need to pin it down now, because now you don't want to give your offense 21-7 hole. Although App State scores points, you don't want to give them that kind of hole here to begin the second quarter.
Yeah, look, Dale Jones has to make sure, the defensive coordinator, that the signal callers, meaning the middle linebackers, the safeties, are making sure that they're communicating what the calls are, what the responsibilities are, so everyone can get lined up quickly and really dial in. This team will stress you mentally as much as it is physical in terms of what your assignment is So they have to lock in here because you're right. The game will get away from them if not.
Locked in.
Triple option game, and if he decides to pull it and throw it, then maybe you're hitting him, right in the chest with the free blitzer off the edge. That's one of the ways to take some of the uncertainty out of it and maybe mess up the timing of Coastal Carolina.
All at the 38. 2nd and 5. Reverse. Back to McCall. He's got a man wide open. Shots. Score. Got a student body throwing some things in the end zone. Police right there on it.
While they get that situated right now, I'm telling you what, co-offensive coordinators, Newland Isaac and Willie Korn, they have to be sitting up there in the box going, is this unbelievable?
I mean,
everything we're calling's working, dude. And you know what? They're setting it up perfect. They really are setting it up perfect. It really is a play calling clinic as far as how everything.
Ball, because it's 21-7. Coastal up early in the second. App State came into this game a favorite, according to the odds makers, and right now they are behind 21-7 early parts of the second quarter. This place is loud, it is rowdy. They've been waiting for this game all year. We touched on the importance of it for both teams, but their big plays tonight, Lewis, all of their touchdowns have been chunks.
Yeah, they sure have. I mean, just think about it. Gerard Brown, 45-yard touchdown. Gravette, 31-yard reception. Pinckney now, 38-yard reception. Plus 20-yard plays is really what you want to keep people under. These guys are beating that by 10 and 15.
Alon Tucker takes it to the 20. Good special teams, good offense. What'd you see on that last play?
Look, this is just good play calling, and what it is, it's really the result of when you hit so many big plays out on the edge, the secondary starts wanting to support anytime the ball gets on the perimeter. And watch the corner and safety at the top of the screen. You're going to see Pinckney just freeze for a second like he's going to block the corner and like it's going to be some kind of perimeter run. And the corners and the safeties are both going, well, we better instigate. See, all that is as a secondary player, when you've seen so many big plays happen, you think you need to get That's not their DNA.
It's just not
That's
going
right. And that's being dictated by Coastal Carolina and their ability to produce explosives.
Can Chase Bryce come up with a play on his own? Yes is the answer to that. He will have forward progress. That's Horn, and a much-needed first down for the Mountaineers at their gain of 4.
They just run a little mesh concept with some shallow crossers underneath, designed to beat man coverage and get some natural picks and rubs, which is exactly what happens there. You see Lance Boykin having to go over top the traffic, and Christian Horn is able to make a secure catch and get enough upfield yardage to get the first down. They needed that first down. They need to keep Coastal's offense on the sideline, man. They need to chew up some clock, but be efficient doing it.
Just for the defense to say, quick pitch to Noel. Boy, can he scoop.
Yes, he can.
You get Nate Noel to that second. Boykin on the coverage. But you see what a successful run does.
Pass interference. Defense number 7. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
You see what that does to give him time, Chase, to take shots to his guys.
Look, he quickly identified that he had the one-on-one matchup he likes with Christian Horn, who's averaging just under 20 yards per reception, going up against Lance Boykin, who has had problems with his technique on the outside. And there you see it. Once you lose contact and you're out of phase with a wide receiver, and you see that wide receiver's eyes start to get big, a lot of DBs panic. They start reaching and grabbing and not able to really maintain their composure, run to the pocket and try and create a PBU. A lot of times it results in a big-time pass interference.
So ball spotted at the 30, 2 tight ends, end around for App State. Blocks are there. Can he make a man miss? Deshaun Davis, it closed quick. Gain of 4.
Mark is talking about.
No, lower the gain of 3.
The thing they want to be careful of, and you can see them chirping down there. You can best believe anytime App State is able to put a hit on him, you just saw right there, Tyler Bird, Trey Cobb, they were both talking to Grayson McCall after that hit. The coaching staff of Coastal is very aware of the fact that they don't want too many hits put on him. They know that if he's not in the football game and they don't have his ability to throw the football at their disposal, that hurts them tremendously, and that's why Bryce Carpenter has been integrated into this offense even more.
So 3rd and 4. McCall out of the shotgun. Pocket collapses, just underthrew Brown. He was open, but skipped that pass. Plenty of pressure out of the App State defense. And Lewis, that's a big stop for the Mountaineers, especially since they turned the
hands. It's a good series for them.
So Tyler Page going to tell everybody to get out of the way. The punt, not what Coastal wanted. Didn't even get to the 50-yard line. So you never want to turn the ball over at the 3-yard line. All in all, Appalachian State comes away unscathed after a punt of 36. Mountaineers ball after this.
ESPN Thursday Night College.
To play in this game, that's become such a big deal in the Sun Belt. An honor to play against a quarterback, he said, like Grayson McCall's caliber.
That was 2020, the one win for Coastal Carolina. Right now up 21-7 midway through the 2nd quarter. Datrick Harrington, the ball carrier for yards. The penalty flag's going to be pass interference, but Lewis, it doesn't matter. Cue that thing up for SportsCenter Top 10.
Look, I don't know if my man Randy Moss is watching this game, but I used your name, Randy. I said Dalton Stroman reminds me of Randy Moss, the way he runs, how long he is at 6'4". Look at that. Look at that one-handed catch. It's a one-handed catch, man. What an unbelievable individual effort against man.
ESPN. Good field position.
That's such a great name,
Really
McDoom.
I've got one in the hopper. Should McDoom score?
I can imagine.
So good start here in this one. Sun Belt East, Coastal Carolina 4-1. They're in the driver's seat. There's a collection of teams with 2 losses. App State, one of them. Every bit of their season for the Sun Belt Championship game on the line. 21-14. Ball spotted at the 30. McCall empty. Fake design run. Good execution on that play to Sam Pinckney. McCall showed run, stepped back through it, tackled by Stephen Jones, and a gain of 21.
Corner sitting in outside leverage, being Stephen Jones, the boundary corner for App State. Big Sam Pinckney goes, hey, you want to sit? Of making sure this play stays contained and it doesn't get out the gate. And look, Nick Hampton, folks, get used to seeing number 9. Get all you can here at App State because soon he'll be playing on Sundays. Watch him here on the perimeter. Just look at this athleticism at 6'3", 240 pounds. You see the side-to-side lateral agility and change of direction. You haven't even seen the best of him yet when he starts to rush the passer. A fantastic, fantastic athlete.
That's Beasley in motion out of the backfield. That's where McCall's going to go. App State's defense there. Good pursuit. Led by 50.
And slow, you got to remember to continue to get the ball to number 14.
App State backs off the pressure. McCall trying to find the guy. Flags all over the secondary. It's completed for a first down at their gain of 16. And that's Tyson Mobley.
You don't maintain your back pedal. You think the route's going to declare and break, so you stop your feet. And if you watch the tape on Stephen Jones, it's probably the one thing that he does too much of. Right at the move point, right where routes declare, he likes to settle his feet and kind of guess. And if he runs by you, you're forced to grab him. That's exactly what happened to him right there.
There's Brown in motion to give to Beasley. They gain a 2. Both is on the field. Willie Corn had another one dialed up to 14.
Well, I'll tell you what, he could have either had Jared Brown or he had Sam Pinckney coming wide open at the top of your screen. You see him at the top of your screen. You see him running the post. He's gone. Because what happened? Once again, Stephen Jones is caught peeking. He's caught squatting, gets caught flat-footed. And then Jared Brown is up the sideline on another wheel route. He had his choice of who he wanted. He just missed both of them.
Ronald Clark got the assignment there on Brown. 3rd and 8. What do the Shots have dialed up here? Can App State come up with a stop? The answer to that is yes. And a great job by the Appalachian State front, and a loss of 4, and that was Jalen McLeod.
There are those pass rushers, man. We talked about Jalen.
Fourth and 12.
Their thoughts?
Clean. Short, no good. Appalachian State now has the ball with all 3 timeouts left.
This is a big drive for them, and you pointed it out. But this is where they have to strike. This is where they have to send this game into halftime, basically knot it up 0-0. And their play-action passing game has started to work, Matt. It's started to get going.
What do you think of that decision there? 4th and 12. 52 yards is a long kick period. College kicker, it's even longer. He lobbied with Chadwell to let him give it a run. Now you've got App State, good field position, 35-yard lines, 3 timeouts. It was kind of, and your receivers have get.
I think, yeah. I mean, I understand what you're getting at, but I think if you're Chadwell, you're thinking, look, we get the ball in the second half anyway. We've been moving the football at will pretty much. At the very least, we go in basically tie score.
So they're going to give the ball to Cam Peoples right off the left side. Try to
You see it exactly.
So App State, even with the 2-minute mark approaching and timeouts, they're sticking with who they are and running the ball early in this drive.
Yeah, I mean, these linebackers and the secondary players have kind of answered the bell in the run game. You saw Charles Arnold right there coming and filling from his safety spot as well. And look, these backs from App State, they are an all-day assignment because they've got such varied body types, different types of speed, change of direction.
Thirty seconds. Please reset.
Chase Bryce had nowhere to go. I mean, that's a great answer for them. Now it makes it look, hey, give us one more shot at it here before we go in at the half. You got 1:36 left. And with the way this offense has been striking, they can put 6 up in a hurry. You would have never told me, based off of the film study I've done, that was what was going to happen.
3rd and 19. They're just going to run it right up the gut with Peoples. He gets what he can. And that's a good job by Coastal's defense. After the missed field goal, maybe a little momentum had switched. The shot to clears are going to use that final timeout.
Timeout. Coastal Carolina, their 3rd and final. It'll be 30 seconds. Please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 30 seconds. 1:30 on the game clock, please. Thank you.
I mean, all in all, this has been a pretty entertaining and I mean, there's been some penalties. Clean football being played. Some penalties have knocked it off. You had the Appalachian State turnover, Nolan Boyd after they scored on the next possession after stopping him on defense. But this is exactly what we thought we'd see out of these two teams.
Yeah, I mean, if you love big plays, you're getting it. If you like multiple type of offense, I mean, Coastal Carolina is just absolutely putting on a clinic. And right now, App State's
across the country are competing to be the Liv Moss Student Section of the Year all season long. You got blackout tonight in the stadium. That kid might be a little too young to be in the student section. Snuck away from mom and dad, said, Mom, Dad, I'll be back. I have some things to learn.
This is a good little scene here, man. I mean, these fans are having a good time. This is a great rivalry. There's been a little chippiness on the field, not much. The people were real nice when we came in today. This is what college football is all about.
A reminder, no timeouts. Coastal gets the ball to start the 3rd quarter. That was McCall to the sideline, gain of 6. That was Pinckney. He's had a nice first.
It's an unbelievable catch. I know it looks like a simple out route, but I mean, Stephen Jones is all over him. Stephen Jones is one of the best corners in all of college football as far as picks, pick sixes, PBUs. And Pinckney just shrugs him off like, get out of here, little man. And that's a great catch.
These skill players for Coastal in the first half have been impressive.
inside, hit him right in the hands.
You got to be careful, too, with 6 looming. That they've hit big plays.
Look, I think a lot of it depends on what happens here on the punt. Right? Do they field it cleanly? Do they get any kind of return going? Are they able to gain some kind of field position? And then what happens on first down?
Do you go all out block? Do you try to create a play?
You know what? See, this is where coaches play the percentages, right? And you got to know your football team. You know, do we want to risk, some kind of roughing the punter and next You think you can make a movie, Matt? You think you'd be a good actor?
Lewis, we're making a making a movie right now.
Yeah, that's true,
right there.
too.
Well, you know what? $1 for 28 for that being his crane technique. That's not going to knock a. Never mind. Let's see what happens here. Appalachian State Bowl. So that play gets him a gain of 9 on first down. That was Nate Noel right up the middle.
You got your corners on the hashes playing deep over the top. You don't expect, you would tell your corners to play that top down, meaning deep to short. Don't let anything get behind you. You know there's a soft spot in cover 2, right around that 18 to 20 yard area along the sideline. App State hit it perfect. So now you're sitting there thinking,
yeah,
maybe we got something here.
You're in full possession mode now. Bryce does a good job, has pace to run, and he'll step out just shy of the 45-yard line. That was Jaron Parker that was pressuring him, chased him out of bounds after a gain of 6, 7 seconds left.
Well, you know App State knows how to put it up there in Hail Mary situations.
They have rehearsed this before.
I think they're kind of adept at this, folks. And for those who don't know what adept means, they're skilled.
Oh, way to go. You went thesaurus.
Hey, you know what? Every once in a while, that Pitt education,
what it was?
baby.
You hung out in London for a week. You feel a little bit smarter, the accent around some...
I don't know if I heard the word adept, though. I haven't used that in a while, either. Let's just see what happens here.
Good use. Seven seconds remain.
Second.
Okay. Home clock. So then afterwards, Chase Bryce was just letting the fans come out and celebrate. Harry, he enjoyed that role.
Yeah, guys, when I spoke to Chase Bryce, I was like, Chase, what was going through your mind when you were helping those fans down the field? He said, hey, nothing was going through my mind, but I saw people that needed help, so I thought I'd give it to them.
Nothing at all going through my mind.
Consummate teammate. He's going to get another look at this here. Until he's not. So that's how the first half will end. A sack by Coastal's defense.
This is the end of the second quarter.
This was fun. And the lucky part for you at home, we have an entire second half to play. Saw some offense, saw a couple turnovers, saw some defense. Plenty to play for in the second half. 21-14.
Exactly what happens. And you have a double reverse pass here to Pinckney, who again, because of all the backfield action, Appalachian State secondary gets twisted up. And then my guy Stroman, the Randy Moss clone, who's going to be on You Got Moss well, he won't be on You Got Mossed, but I'll tell you this, he's going to be on some highlight show. And just look at all those big plays, man. I mean, that is what you tune in for. That's what you come here to watch big-time college football for, and that's what I think we're going to get here in the second half.
4 touchdowns of 30 yards or more. That was a look at tonight's game flow brought to you by Progressive. The kick goes out of bounds. Matthew McDoom was down there. He bobbled it out of bounds as we go down to Harry.
Yeah, guys, when I spoke with Jamie
by the receiver, and then went out of bounds. It'll be first down at that spot.
When I spoke with Jamie Chadwell, he said he liked the way that they came out. He loved their energy. He said they're playing within themselves. He said he wasn't happy with a couple of drops and wants them to tighten up a little bit, but he said he's having a good time. And when I spoke with Sean Clark, he said they need to run the ball better. It'll open things up for that offense. He wants Chase Bryce to continue to play within himself as well, and he feels like they've got a good chance here in the second half.
Involved. I mean, you see it there. You see him just get the hands down and watch it. ball for just another tick, he would have had him, and he delivers a strike. You are absolutely right. Watch him just hitch up in the pocket and then just deliver it on a rope. Perfect throw.
So that was big because you were looking at a 3rd and long, a potential field position flip early to start the 3rd quarter. Now Coastal, the ball at the 27-yard line, 28-yard line. Their first drive to the 3rd quarter. That's Brown in motion. That's the give to Beasley. Small gain. McCall has Brown, and he dropped it. Jared Brown got behind Nick Ross. Looked like it could have been 6, and App State gets away with 1.
I mean, you see Jared Brown at number 2 in the slot. You see him just absolutely just run right past Nick Ross. He just runs it deep over. They've been hitting him on these all game long. Splitting the safeties. And he must be losing the ball in the lights or something, because that's just too easy of a catch for him to drop.
And his second drop we've seen out of him tonight. So now 3rd and 8. Here comes the pressure. McCall able to get away. And again on 3rd down, Grayson McCall comes up big. Tyson Mobley the catch, and McCall slow to get up. It was Trey Cobb who got back there, and you see McCall grabbing his, what looks to be his right leg.
Officials timeout for an injury.
Trey Cobb, who's trying to drag him down from behind, and you see a lot of injuries happen like that when defenders are on ball carriers' backs. I mean, that's one of the reasons why they outlawed the horse collar tackle. They don't like having guys get drugged down from behind, and that's a legal play right there. But that's exactly what happens a lot of times. Just hope he can get back in this game.
So now it's Bryce Carpenter, the runner. We've seen him throw a touchdown pass tonight, and you see him just lower his shoulder and bowl his way down. Most teams are like, hey, quarterback, you need to slide. But Bryce Carpenter, he's got this thing.
Hitting that.
I'm not going to slide, but I'm going to get you another first down after a gain of 12.
Here comes Grayson McCall back.
Nothing doing there. C.J. Beasley met by a number of App State defenders. Jalen McLeod.
Hey, I love this. I love this trench warfare when you're talking about football. We all love explosive big plays. I'm no different than anyone else in that regard. But when you see the big guys up front battling like both of these teams are right now, I mean, it's just back and forth. App State wins it down. Coastal's offensive line wins it down. App State's defense wins it down. A quarterback makes a play.
It's the 13th play of the drive.
I mean, exactly. And look where they are, right? It's not like they've moved the football way down the field. I mean, it is trench warfare out here.
It's Reese White in the backfield. Reese White's going to get it. Reese White's going to go off tackle. Tyler Bird after 8 yards. This is 7 minutes plus to start the third quarter. We had started the second half by all of the touchdown big plays, 45 yards, 31 yards, 38, 42, big play, big play, big play. Now we're just going old school football, hand in the dirt.
And just think, if Jared Brown doesn't drop the big deep opener that they had hit him on, they've already scored here in the first half. So the big play component hasn't left this game. You can be rest assured of that. But this is old-fashioned football right here. Running the football between the tackles, winning at the line of scrimmage.
Carpenter back in the game. Here comes the option. Look, and it is blown up. How about it for number 6, Stephen Jones? They get their third down stop and a loss of 3.
Look, defensive coordinator Dale Jones, what did he tell us yesterday? He said, I moved Stephen Jones from the field corner to the boundary corner because of this. Because the boundary corner really needs to be a physical run force defender. That's what that is. That's why you moved him to where you moved him. Because of hits like this. And this isn't the biggest guy in the world at 5'10", 185 pounds, but he plays like a 200-pounder.
So 4th and 5. Big opportunity here.
Field to see if they can tie this game up.
This week's featured ESPN Cubs football game, Bryce Young, number 6. Alabama square off against number 10, LSU. Man, I tell you what, that's a big one of the SEC West. Saturday night, 7 Eastern. Matt Berry, Joey Galloway, Dan Mullen, all of your halftime needs on that as we take a look at this week's college football playoff rankings, brought to you by Allstate. Happy screaming season. First iteration of the rankings are out. Those will be handled this week. We've got Tennessee and Georgia, the big one at Athens. There'll be some movement there. Ohio State comes in at 2. Clemson, the polarizing team, ranked 4th. A lot of people wondered why they were up there. And Alabama 6th ahead of TCU. But so much football left to be played. LSU and Alabama, they're going to handle that this week.
That's a big one.
That's it. So
that's a big one. Yeah, it'll work itself out.
It always does. You can yell at your colleague if you want, but just give it a beat. First down here for Chase Bryce and App State. Pressure comes. He gets it away to Nate Noel. 3 yards. Set the table now for Appalachian State in their offense here. This is their first possession of the third quarter.
You see, the play-action passing game is still a big part of what they are going to do, even if the running game hasn't gotten going, because they know that Coastal's still going to respect it. So those deep shots down the middle of the field, the 3-level routes on the outside where you have a short, intermediate, deep play, they're all going to be in play still.
So 2nd and 6. Noel had a burst and had some daylight. So they went for it, and they didn't get it. That was JT Killen.
They're marking forward progress. They're giving them a good spot. The Mountaineers are still on the field. That's a heck of a play by JT Killen. That's how you're supposed to build downhill. That's how you're supposed to meet the run with force if you're a linebacker. And you can see Killen here just staying square to the lines. Oh, he never...
Word on what Grayson McCall's injury is specifically. I can tell you that he was sitting down here on the bench. The trainer was with him, but he was not receiving any treatment. He got up to test out that ankle, or that, I'm sorry, that lower leg injury, and he was grimacing, but it looks like he's going to go and try to tough it out here, guys.
He's got the ball at the 41 here. He's got good field position to start this drive. They give on an end around to Tyson Mobley. And Lewis, this very well could be a turning point in this game. When App State says they built this thing around the offensive line of the running game, they get stopped on 4th and 2, short of the first down, and then Knox.
Six.
At the line, ready to play football. So Logan Dublin now in for Cobb.
You can see Grayson McCall kind of hobbling around out there. He definitely has his mobility compromised, as we all know. And again, if you're Appalachian State, you have to take advantage of that.
You know, right now he's not a threat to run, as White takes it up the middle for enough for the first down.
Officials timeout for an injury.
So now we have another player down as Donnell Wilson. So Lewis, under 2 minutes here. an explosion of offense in the first half. Here through the third quarter, it's been methodical for Coastal Carolina. App State wasn't able to do anything with their opportunity. But with Grayson McCall, as you said, banged up, it kind of changes what you're going to do. You wonder if Carpenter, with the way he runs the ball, is not the play here for the rest of this drive.
Yeah, look, App State may know that the triple option is coming or some kind of quarterback run, you know, when Carpenter would go into the game, but at least you still have that component of your rushing attack at your disposal. Right now, you're not going to let Grayson McCall get out there on the perimeter. You're not going to have him run and go out there. So, yeah, that's what's changed. The perimeter attack has changed right now.
So already 19 plays here in the third quarter for Coastal. App State just 4. Let's take a look at what Grayson McCall has done tonight for Appalachian State. He's done a little bit of everything, Lewis. Yeah, he's been running this offense at a high level, throwing it on the back, but that was a run for Brown.
Look, he's been spectacular. The different kinds of ball handling they've had him undergo, and then throwing it off of that. I mean, it's just been hard to stop. As a matter of fact, it's almost impossible to stop considering all the different options it gives you.
So McCall to throw again. He looked right, went back to the middle of the field, goes back to.
And I can tell you as a defensive player, that's an absolute nightmare.
See the numbers, 116 total yards for Brown. We're under a minute already here in the third. It's been quick. McCall gonna keep it. He faked it to Reese White off the right side. Dublin, who's in for Cobb, brings him down. And a gain of 4.
You can just see the Grayson, when he pulled that, had he been 100% healthy, maybe he fights for a couple extra yards there and tries to lower his shoulder and see if he can get some tough yards, but he's just not going to be willing to do that. So again, their triple option game, as far as him being a ball carrier, is not the same, but their play action passing game sure is, and it's been productive all night.
So they're going to let this one go to the fourth quarter. So much to play for here in the Sun Belt East. Appalachian State, their season in terms of a conference championship is on the line in this quarter, and Coastal can take control of the entire thing. We'll come back. Shots up 21-14. You know, we knew we were excited for this game here at Coastal Carolina and Appalachian State, but so were the locals here in Conway, South Carolina. Set an attendance record tonight. Previously set on September 3rd this season against Army. They've eclipsed that tonight. Their home stadium at Brooks Stadium. What a crowd, what an atmosphere. Coastal Carolina now in the driver's seat in the Sun Belt East, up 21-14, now 3rd and 4. Ball on the 8-yard line. That is Jacob Jenkins. And McCall held on to it just long.
Talked to Jacob Jenkins pregame. I said, hey, you're going to get another one of those touchdowns. He's got sweet hands, good route running ability. You're going to see him here at the top of the screen. You're going to see him run like he's just going to run a little out route, and then he's just going to come back inside. Come back inside. The safety, Ronald Clark, you got to be closer than that. You've got to buy
Fourth quarter. It's doable with their offense. But the problem now defensively, they just haven't been able to figure out how to contain the Coastal receivers.
It's been the big plays, and it's been the lack of eye discipline. You hear people say that on TV. You hear people say that on talk radio, eye discipline, when people are trying to describe, defensive play and why things break down and people give up big plays. Well, that's because you're looking at the wrong things. And when a team like Coastal Carolina
can at least help the start of this drive.
Free kick out of
UFC
bounds.
Fight Night,
Kicking team.
Saturday from the
Receiving
Apex
team
in
has
Las
elected
Vegas.
to take the ball at the
Our women's
35-yard line.
strawweight main events.
First out.
The prelims start at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, followed by the main card at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN Plus. To get, go to ESPNplus.com or download the ESPN app.
Look, if you're Chase Bryce right now, you kind of know what this game needs from you. And if you're Christian Horn, if you're Deshaun Davis, Caden Roberts,
Was going to take it.
I want to show you my board. I want to show you the secondary. And who do I have start in the secondary?
Number 10, Taven Jackson.
We asked defensive coordinator Chad Staggs, I said, I love your safeties, man. I love Joshua Madison. And I said, that number 10, Taven Jackson, what's up with him? Oh, he's a good player. He can make some plays. Well, when the quarterback gets hit and the ball's up in the air like this, you got to come down with it. Now turn into a running back. Now go back to your high school days. Of having someone who takes the pitch, someone who takes the quarterback, set the edge.
And Reese White gives the shot declares an extra point away from a 35-14 lead.
Just the threat of him being able to pull it is exactly what they want. And you just see the left side of the offensive line just cave down the right side of the with the running backs they have, with the offensive line they have.
That was their second touchdown in 1:43. You can't say enough about what Coastal Carolina to this point has done with this opportunity and what they've done offensively and conversely defensively on this App State offense.
And this is how it works. Front and coverage go together, right? You get a hit on the quarterback, it affects the throw. The ball's up in the air. As a defensive back, you got to go get it.
In the fourth quarter, that's Milan Tucker trying to make a play on special teams. He gets it to the 20-yard line.
And you know what, Matt? That's a great way of putting it as far as Coastal is concerned. They've been fluid. They've been able to change and adapt, go from the play-action passing game to the triple option passing game to the power run game, whatever they need to do.
Look at those numbers with Georgia State. That was a game where Coach Clark said they need first down. Ball came out, looked like he was down. There was a gain of 10. Well, can he make a man miss? We know he's got the speed to do it. He got enough for the first down and then brought down by Shane Bruce. It's a gain of 11.
They got to work with some urgency here, man. I mean, they have got to pop a big one here somehow, some way. I mean, eventually it's going to start working against you, especially You know, considering that right now you haven't shown that you have an answer for Coastal's offense. You got to score quick. You need as many shots at it as possible.
3-score game. Bryce pressured, avoids it.
Can't afford.
In part by Cheez-It. Cheesy, crunchy satisfaction.
Enjoying their night here at Brooks Stadium tonight. This week's featured ESPN college football game. Bryce Young, number 6 Alabama, take on number 10 LSU in a huge SEC West matchup. Coverage begins Saturday night, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN and the ESPN app. Both teams right now, LSU, they've got 2 losses on the season, one of them out of conference to Florida State. They control their own destiny in the West. Alabama controls their own destiny in the West. Ole Miss. And the 2 teams we have here tonight is McDoom. Has space. Flag on the play. Tackled by Stephen Jones.
Three and out here. No big plays. Play fundamentally sound. What does Sean Clark tell us? One of the first things he told us when we met with him, it's about discipline, details, and fundamentals. Now it's about being disciplined with your eyes. Make sure you have the details when you come out of the huddle as far as what the coverage is, and then play with good fundamentals, and you'll get off the field.
Conversely, Grayson McCall on the field. They can do some damage here with Beasley, and that's a good gain on first down. A hard 6 yards, tackled by Dublin, first man.
When you get 4+, 5+ on first down, it opens up the playbook for you. Now you could go play action here on second down. You could try and take a shot. Maybe you run it again, you eat some more clock, especially if your offensive line is winning at the line of scrimmage.
That's going to be 3rd and inches. Palin and Earl bring down Beasley. So now Bryce Carpenter comes in. 3rd and a short 1.
Big down. You know what, more than likely what is coming here from Coastal with Bryce in the game.
App State's got everyone in the box bringing pressure. Carpenter to run. And
the offensive line has done some good work all night long. And now with Loper moving from the right tackle to the left tackle position where he played a year ago, look, they have just really been able to get into the defenders of App State, get some movement at the point of attack, and just grind out these tough yards here in a critical situation.
We saw Will McDonald hurt, the left guard. He's back in the game. Dublin again, gain of 2. So now here you've got a 3rd and 6.
This is where, as a defender, don't try and do too much. Just do your job. Just do 111. Just do your job so you can get off this field and get this ball back to your offense. Because, look, it's imperative. You have to get off the field here. Because you're right. They are just grinding this clock down right now. Just play fundamentally sound. Give your offense a chance.
So McCall back in at quarterback. Forced out of the pocket. Throws a dart to the sidelines. And when it's all said and done, that to Gravett. When you talk about all the plays Grayson McCall made tonight, that gain of 13 goes up there with some of the biggest ones he's made all night.
But Grayson has been cool and calm under pressure all night long. And look who's coming down the pike on him. Nick Hampton is hunting him down. He just needs him to hold the ball one more tick. And you see Gravett with the toe drag there on the sideline, running that little sail route, come up the field and then just kind of break it on at 45-degree angle to the sideline. And Grayson just puts it right on him. I mean, what more can you say?
So Carpenter back in the game after the game. At the timeout, already 5 minutes chewed up on this drive for the Chanticleers. They smell a victory of 35-21 with just over 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. 35-21, what a performance so far by Grayson McCall tonight. Had the injury, injured his lower leg, had to come off, went into the tent, came back, and all he's done, Lewis, is continue to move this offense playing while hurt.
Yeah, look, they had been on fire early. The triple option had been working exactly like they wanted it to, and he was making great decisions as to when to hold it, when to throw it, when to keep it. But still, he's able to navigate the pocket, although his mobility has been limited, still throw the football with good accuracy. Gutsy performance on his part. Would you expect anything else?
You know,
that's what he's done his entire career.
You know why? They had the crane technique going on. McCall staring at you without your helmet,
elevator
and
door,
I'm like, hey man, That's a really close-up of Grayson McCall, but it just goes to show you he is this program. Back-to-back 11-win seasons. This guy was here for the ascent of where they are now as a team and as a program they've built together. That's going to be early movement off sides.
Well, when you just think about the efficiency that he has played with over the past 3 years, coming into this football game, 72 touchdowns, just 7 interceptions over the past 3 years.
Offside, defense number 99 made contact with an offensive player. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
So the result of that will still be...
Correction, the penalty results in a first down.
Oh, Wayne Winkler gets $1. That was enough yardage for the first down on third down.
You're just talking about Grayson McCall, top 5 in passer rating nationally all 3 seasons that he's been here. This year, 94 QBR on play action, which is 4th best in all of FBS. 12-0 touchdown to interception ratio on play action coming into this game. Only, I mean, some of the best quarterbacks in college football, he's right there with them, man.
Ball's on the turf. App State's there. They say that they have it. We'll wait for the official ruling. Appalachian State just turned the ball over.
By the offense, recovered by the defense for a first down.
Nick Hampton recovered the fumble. They had 13 forced fumbles coming into this game, tied for second in FBS. That'll be their 14th. And now Matt Austin gets paid because we've heard from him.
There you go, Matt.
Here's another
you see it here.
Yep.
Spins out of it.
And that's the wrist he's referring to, the right wrist with the ball in his hand. It just popped out after he popped up. Look.
If you're App State right now.
Strike quick.
Again, exactly. Just like we said last time. And if you're Coastal Carolina, and if you're defensive coordinator Chad Staggs, you are telling your guys, listen, back up, play top down, stop getting the ball thrown over your head and turning people loose.
So Bryce is going to try to turn one downfield. So a missed opportunity for App State to be in business on this drive. Now 2nd and 10. Here comes the pressure. Out of the pocket is Chase Bryce. He just skips that one incomplete. That was Clark again. The big fella's had a big night forcing pressure.
And if you're Deshaun Davis, you have to work. You got to present yourself to Chase Bryce. You just can't sit there. You got to maybe work back towards him, present an easier trying to get some fresh bodies on this defensive line so they can rush the passer, because the secondary right now, I mean, they're living dangerously, man. They're living dangerously. The front is going to have to close out this game for Coastal.
App State trying to strike without using those timeouts. Ruled in bounds is Henry Pearson.
safety look, these cover 4 looks, they've been able to get their inside receivers. You see it right here. You see the Kansas City Chiefs used to do this all the time with Tyreek Hill. Put him at the number 2 or number 3 guy in a 3-by-1 situation, so he just gets a free run on the safety down the middle of the field, and they're just flat out running past Coastal Carolina safeties. They've been doing it all night long.
So now 3rd and 6. Trips to the bottom of your screen.
Oh, 21, 15 yards.
Outside, it drops right in his hand, so sometimes it's the receiver, sometimes it's the quarterback.
There's Noel flashing out of the backfield. Bryce is going to take a look downfield, finds his receiver, had a player wide open, missed him.
I think he
And it's going to be a first down. App State, ball spotted at the 5. Gain of 13. And an injured player down for Coastal. He pops right back up.
And he looks... There's a big collision on the field there. Right here at the end, you'll see it. Takes a shot right on the side of the head there. It looks like it was Josh Madison.
And so the quarterback delivers the blow to the
You see it right there, right to the side of the helmet.
So here comes Appalachian State. 1st and goal. Overshoots to the end zone intended for Henry Pearson. Lewis a touchdown here. 3:06 left.
It gets
3
all
timeouts.
kinds of interesting. All kinds of
Then you're talking about special teams, onside, but first thing first, this is the 11th play of the drive. They need to punch this one in if they've got a shot here. Impressive drive, a 13-yard gain by Chase Bryce set this up. Ball spotted at the 5. Noel in the backfield, shifts out, designed run. Chase Bryce follows his blockers, and we still have a football game in Conway, South Carolina.
That's a heck of a call. Design quarterback draw.
Follow Luke Smith. Get your touchdown. And it's a 1-score football game between Coastal and App State.
And there's the block by Luke Smith that you're talking about.
Officials timeout for an
Just over 3 minutes left, 3:01, 3 timeouts. Chase Bryce keeps them in the game with this run. Do you kick it deep? Do you kick on sides? Either way, it's a one-score football game on Thursday Night Football.
Van Pelt here, getting set for SportsCenter. Packed show, pivotal Game 5 in the World Series. LSU head coach Brian Kelly stopping by. Major breaking news out of the NBA. The Nets have suspended Kyrie Irving. We'll see you when this good game ends. Matt, Lewis, I say the boys from Boone kick it deep and play defense.
There you go, Scotty. That's what we were just talking about.
We agree, my man.
Just talking about it.
We agree.
But it looks like Coastal certainly lined up with the hands
team.
Yeah,
you have to play for it. I've been on the hands team before. You always expect the worst, plan for the worst, accept the best possible outcome. If they kick it deep, that's fine.
There's no returner back there. Just go ahead and throw this one deep. There you go. All right, so a touchback. SVP called it. Lewis wanted it. Everybody got it. So now it's defensive time. 35-28. App State, all 3 timeouts. Coastal has 2. We have a one-score game. Okay, Lewis, here we go. 1st and 10, shots 25.
It's big boy football. That's what this is right now.
Quick pop pass, incomplete.
And the clock stops.
Jared Brown dropped it. Jackson Green on the coverage.
I mean, right now, with the way you have been owning the line of scrimmage, why aren't you running the football?
Carpenter with the ball. Carpenter stopped immediately by App State. They're going to quickly use a timeout. That's DeAndre Dingle Prince. Loss of 1.
Timeout. App State there first. Please reset the game clock to 2 minutes, 53 seconds. 2:53 on the game clock.
This is the best possible scenario right now for App State. It could not be working out for you any better through the first 2 downs.
So let's bring you up to date on what's at stake here in this game. Appalachian State, they're out of house money. They need to win this game in the Sun Belt East to have an opportunity to stay in the conversation for the Sun Belt Championship. Coastal wins. You see the number there. If they win, 97% chance. Falls to 26% if they lose. So everything in front of both of these teams here tonight as we embark on the month of November. But for Appalachian State, the preseason pick to win the Sun Belt East, Lewis, it comes down to the final 2 minutes and 53 seconds.
And this is a big, big down. Now, everything that you talk about, again, everything right now that head coach Sean Clark talks about comes into play. I mean, sometimes football isn't that complicated. Details, discipline, fundamentals. You got to have it right here. Most important down of the game for App State.
So McCall back in at quarterback, 3rd and 11. Takes a shot, has Brown, comes up with it. What a play call by Willie Korn and Newland Isaac. Brown had been struggling with long. He beats Jackson Green for the big play.
What a big time call. And right now, look, if you're safety Jackson Green and you see that Jared Brown is on your side, you can't get caught flat-footed. You have the corner sitting outside Stephen Jones. You're playing a split safety look. Get back deep, play it inside out, top down. That's the details and the discipline that that you talk about as a coach and that Sean Clark has been talking about. That's how you lose games.
Lewis, that play call, there was one player that was going to get that.
Yeah.
Timeout.
Well, interestingly
App
enough,
State, they're second.
If it's
It'll be 30
overthrown, if
seconds.
it's underthrown, if it's anything.
I think he had Sam Pinckney or Jared Brown. He could have had either one of them there. But you know what? Look, for every big play that happens for an offense, there's some kind of big busted mistake on the defensive side. So it's kind of a twofold type of thing. And in this situation, it's secondary play.
And they put everything in front of them there. And that possession couldn't have started any better for the App State defense.
Absolutely not. I mean, I said it was the most important down of the game. And I really do believe that. Ultimately, it's going to play out that way unless they can create some kind of turnover or big play here.
Carpenter back in the game. Handoff to the right side. And that is Reese White. And with one timeout remaining, Appalachian State, after a first down, gain of 13, Lewis, and we're close to a victory formation for Coastal Carolina and a huge win at home.
I mean, what a big-time throw. And what a big-time play for Jared Brown. He started off this game electrifying us, this crowd, the people watching this game, and he finishes this game, in essence, electrifying us with another big shot down the field.
And having
entertaining game, man.
And what a championship drive.
I thought Reese White was going to get just absolutely smacked right there at the line of scrimmage. And look at him continuing to fight, continuing the leg drive, people on his back. He knows he can put this game away. They know they can taste victory. They can smell victory, whatever analogy you want to use. Just look at that. 203 rush yards.
To App State's 88. I had said it last year. And what Appalachian State did to them in this game, running yards, 282 yards is what they had against Coastal last year. They come into this game, this is what they do. They're not even going to eclipse 100.
I mean, what a heck of a coaching job on the part of Jamie Chadwell, challenging his big men, challenging his defense after the way they got pushed around against ODU to come out and have this kind of night.
You could read his lips. Goes to Bryce Carpenter. He says, go finish it. And they're not even going to need to run a ball play. App State has dominated this series 7-1. Only win for Coastal came back in the 2020 season. 2 straight 11-win seasons. Since 2020, they've won 29 games. Only Alabama and Georgia have won more. You start getting this sense and you understand why Jamie Chadwell's name has always come.
Respect him because he came from a rival The next year comes back as an assistant head coach. The next year gets named the head coach, and he's 5-7. Then the next year, they go on a roll.
Yeah, we've got Student. They are hopping out of the end zone stands.
That's a far drop.
That's a big drop. I mean, I'm looking at. I mean,
my knees are hurting looking at it.
They're like, you know what? We want a part of this.
Good for them. But what a heck of a coaching job by the Coastal Carolina coaching staff, the players, the fans have a right to celebrate this one. And how about for us? Look at us, man. What a great game this was for us. This is fun.
We looked at our Thursday night schedule. I said Coastal App State. Now that's one that people love to watch because these two programs love to play each other. It didn't disappoint. App State gave us what they could at the end. Coastal was dominant from start to finish. 35-28 the final. Chanticleer's now in the driver's seat in the Sun Belt East. For our entire Thursday night crew, Harry Lyles on the sidelines, Lewis Riddick up here in the booth, I'm Matt Barry. Chanticleers get the win. We hand the ball to Scott Van Pelt and Sports Center.
Matt, thanks.